Welcome once again to the Phil Taylor Jones Show. We're here once again on a political jaunt this time, and we're going to be talking about the two deadheads that are running for president of our fine country. One, Hillary the Bitch Clinton, and also referred to her as a blonde-haired crook, and Donald J. Trump, the chook, the orange-haired chook, and what they're up to, and their shenanigans, shall we say. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and we're going to take a closer look at these two idiots right now. Well, let's go with the orange-haired chook, Trump. When he first came out, he said that he was not a politician, and for that, I pretty much believe you. But as time went on, he became a very quick study in how to be a politician, because now he is very good at being a politician. Flip-flops, lying, creating nutty situations that he himself fabricates. The latest being, now he seems to have flip-flopped on getting all of these foreigners out of here, these illegal foreigners. He wants to find a better way to do it, a more humane way to do it. First of all, your idea of doing it was stupid from Jump Street. How are you going to find all of these people that are illegal? They're not going to help you out and say, hey, I'm illegal, you can deport me now. And what would be the, case is, if they found out that you were in a mad dash to hunt them all down, they would go underground and you would never find them. Dumb idea from the start. But for you to now renege on it, what else are you going to renege on? You've already reneged on the muzzies. You're not going to just stop them all until they can come up with a better way of investigating them to find out who and what they are and what they're going to do after they get here. Now we want to stop muzzies that come from terrorist countries. Yesterday, while we were watching the final events in the Olympics, it came to pass that 50 people in Turkey were slaughtered. And what made it so fantastic, there was a wedding there, and they were slaughtered. A lot of them were kids. But what made it so stunning, as they put it, is that the actual person that went in and cut loose with the suicide vest was about 13 or 14 years of age. And this is the group of people with the friendly religion. And they're so kind. Yeah, they'll kindly come in and cut loose on you if you're not watching them with a suicide vest to chop your head off. And you orange-haired chook, you're vacillating now on which way to let them in or stop them or investigate them. What are you up to? What are you up for, is my question. And you got all these people supporting you, blindly supporting you, and you're making major faux pas every day. But yet, you want to point an accusing finger at the Bitchery Clinton. You haven't the right. You're in bed with her. She is you. You are she. You're both two scuzzbags in the same bag. Now, while we're talking about bags, let's get into the old blonde-haired crook. 14,000 emails have resurfaced regarding her. They keep talking about what they want to do to her and how they want to take her down. There are big suggestions going around now that they should close the Clinton Foundation because it has been found to be so inept and so crooked on so many scores. Yet it's still open. Yet she's still creeping about the country talking about she wants to be president. Why are you all trying to fool each other with all of these crazy things you're saying? Oh, well, Donald Trump, he needs to be thrown out of the Republican Party because he wouldn't be able to represent us. He's unqualified to represent us as president. Oh, Bitchery Clinton, she needs to be thrown in jail. Lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. Quit playing games. I'm sure you all out there have eyes. I'm sure you've got 2, maybe 3 working brain cells to realize that neither one of these jackasses are qualified to run a dog pound. But yet you keep on going. Why? Is it out of blind faith? Is it out of sheer desperation because there's nobody out there that you feel can do any better? Maybe there isn't. But there isn't that it's not somebody else out there. There's Jill Stein. It's my grand hope that she could come in and get to be president and hopefully work to the betterment of our people. I don't know that she will. I'm hoping. I'm working as hard as I can. That's why we do this show. Because we want people to know that there is another person out there. This Gary Johnson guy, I put him in the same bed or bag with the orange-haired chook and the blonde-haired crook. He's no better. He's a pothead. This guy has smoked so much pot as his brain cells are probably fried. But Jill Stein is a person of substance, and she is out there. Tell a friend. Tell a family member to tell a friend and another family member, and keep it going and going and going until it becomes an avalanche. Because as I look at these two, the more sick to my stomach I become. And what makes me even sicker is to see all of these people just blindly following these two nitwits, as though what they say is true. They had pictures of Trump down there in Louisiana giving out food to the homeless and giving out Play-Doh and things to the kids. And everybody, oh, bless him. Oh, you see what he's doing. Oh, he's such a kind person. Oh, my heart is just so overwhelmed with Trump. Oh, I could just cry. Come on, folks, you're not that gullible, are you? What is the man trying to become? President. He would do anything he could to not only grandstand bastard, who needs grandstanding, by the way, because he's such a dirtbag, but it puts booby points in his little feathers in his cap. How many times during any of the other tragedies that we've had, where was he when Katrina was there? Where was he when that big storm hit the Jersey Shore and tore it apart? Where was he? Was he handing out things at that time? No. So what's the big difference now? He's running for president. So he's out there trying to press the flesh and kiss the babies and what have you. The Bitchery Clinton, she didn't show up. We all know where old bastard was, playing the ninth hole somewhere. So, I mean, wake up and smell the coffee, folks. These people are sick individuals. They make big promises. They're just like a big bear, making big tracks and they ain't getting nowhere. You know, and they'll promise you anything until they get their scroungy butts in office. That's the way it's always been, and that's the way I'm afraid it'll always be. I would like to see if that would be the case, should we get an independent in there. Because as I said before, the Democrats, the Republicans have been screwing up for so long, at least in our time for the last 16 years. 8 years of Bush, 8 years of old bastard. Is that what you want? Don't you at least want to try something new? What have they been doing for us all this time? Nothing but getting us further and further into debt. Losing our jobs. Losing our livelihood. Making more and more people hit the streets because they can't afford to live indoors. Our veterans are treated like pure crap after they've gone out there and fought so valiantly for us and for our freedoms. And yet you still want to go with these two parties. I wouldn't want to go with them. In fact, I'm not going to go with them. Well, if you don't vote for Trump, then you should at least vote for Hillary. If you don't vote for Hillary, as bad as I hate to, I'd vote for Trump. I'm not voting for anybody that I don't believe in. I'd rather my vote not count than to vote for a bag of crap. And that's what these two are. She's a blonde-haired bag of crap. He's an orange-haired bag of crap. And both of them stink equally. So again, I would urge you to go to Jill2016.com, check it out. Check out her philosophy, her plan for the country, her mission statement. And think seriously about voting for an independent. Ask yourself the question, could it be any worse than the 16 years that we've already endured? Could it be that maybe this woman could go in there and across the aisles bring people together? She's good at that for the betterment of our country. She seems to be that one person that thinks in the vein that I'm working for the people of the United States. I want to listen to what they have to say, and not only listen to it, but act upon it on their behalf. Not my behalf. Naturally, all of us can't go to Washington and govern, so we choose one person to do that. But these people in these stupid, selfish, regimented establishment parties seem to forget us. They don't like us. They don't care about us. It's about what they want, what their greedy intentions are about, and screw everyone else. It's been systematically done all these many years, all these many decades. Perhaps if we change our plan and put an independent in there, it might just change a little bit to our betterment. I would sincerely urge you to think about that thing. Exec, you got anything?
Well, there's a lot of disappointment in the two current Republican and Democratic candidates. As you said, this Trump guy, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's insisting that he's not flip-flopping. He just wants it to be fair and firm, to quote him. Well, if he's not flip-flopping, then here from NBCnews.com is a full list of Donald Trump's rapidly changing policy positions. I won't bore you with all of them because there's way too many to speak on the show without going over a whole hour.
Hear about that orange.
But I won't go into the details of each one, but the tagline or the beginning description of each thing that they go into detail on, I'll touch on really quickly for each different subject. It's concerning proposed Muslim ban, his first stance, and then the next one I mentioned will be the second stance, and so on. No Muslims should be allowed to enter the United States as immigrants or visitors. Then, ban Muslims from entering, but make an exception for friends and Muslims serving in the U.S. military. Then, the Muslim ban was just a suggestion. Then, Muslim bans as a matter of policy, as well as people from countries with a history of terrorism. Then, ban people from countries with a history of terrorism. Then, ban Muslims from countries with a history of terrorism and potentially also other Muslims. Then, the Muslim ban was never about Muslims. Then, nothing has changed, nothing to see here. That's a description of some kind of things he said. Then, the ban is negotiable. Then, the ban would call for extreme vetting. Then, the ban hasn't changed. I just don't like saying the word Muslim. Then, there's a ban, but plus extreme vetting that includes an ideological test. And finally, his current position, ban all Muslims plus people from countries with a history of terrorism and people who have hostile attitudes towards America but don't say Muslim. Very PC, and he claimed he didn't want to be like that. Now, immigration. Build a wall, deport all undocumented immigrants initially. Then deport all undocumented immigrants, but bring the good ones back legally. Dreamers can maybe stay. Dreamers cannot stay was the next one. Totally opposite. Trump might be flexible on actually deporting 11 million undocumented immigrants. Deport undocumented immigrants, but don't call it mass deportations. A deportation force is to be determined. And then his current position, deport millions potentially with deportation force, but don't call it mass deportations. You get the trend about this thing here. Now, taxes. The wealthy should pay more. Cut taxes for the wealthy big time. People like me should pay more. I never said that. Cut everyone's taxes. He's denying what he said previously. Maybe you don't slash taxes by 10 trillion and slash taxes by 3 trillion instead. Scrap the earlier plan entirely. Here are new tax brackets. Current position, he doesn't frequently talk about helping working people, but despite him talking about currently helping working people, his plan so far seems to benefit the wealthy. Defeating ISIS. Maybe send troops in, definitely go after the oil fields. Then definitely bomb the oil fields, send troops in. Send troops in to defeat ISIS, don't forget about oil fields. He seems to not make up his mind very much. Destroy the oil. Let our regional allies send ground troops if they don't stop buying their oil. Declare war, send in some troops. Current position, declare war, blame Clinton, and send in very few troops. And I'm going on a little bit too further, so before I continue with this obviously very similar trend, I'm going to go to this section that I kind of highlighted. I wanted to read out, if I can find it. I'm not taking too much time here. He changes back and forth on the gun bans and stuff. He wants people to have guns in clubs.
Change his position like he changes his underwear.
He wants people with clubs to have guns, so like because of what happened with the Pulse nightclub and stuff, and then he doesn't. Japan, he wants Japan to have nukes, and then he doesn't. Okay, here's a highlighted section. Current position on Japan nukes is whether it's unclear whether Trump would reverse U.S. policy to allow Japan to have nuclear weapons, but it's clear Trump doesn't like. Here's the part that I highlighted it for. But it's clear Trump doesn't like being reminded of positions he took 8 weeks ago. And this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He claims he doesn't want to be like a politician or be considered a politician, but like he said, he's a quick study.
Very quick study.
You know, both of the people, especially Bitchery Clinton, you know, is a crook and killed these people in Benghazi. I don't know how anyone can get past that. And I think she said something about 9/11, telling everyone to move on and stuff. How can you do that when the people have lost all their loved ones? Heck, you lost a friend, a dear friend, and work from there, you know, from work. But, you know, people, we need to go towards Jill Stein. We'll have the link up there as usual, her campaign details, her events and everything. The link will be posted up there, as well as that link from New York Times, NBC News. So you can actually read all them different flip-flops in detail yourself if you wish. Thanks for watching as always. But, you know, that's why we make the show, and we thank you for watching, because we want to try to get Jill Stein's name out there, as you alluded to earlier. There's a different person out there that's more than qualified for the job, that hasn't killed anybody, that hasn't flip-flopped, and that's for us, rather than big banks and big government still having control and whoever's in the office still having control. She wants to give control to you while she's in office instead of her being in control. You know, she can be the people's side, on our side, and that's what we need. That's about all I can basically come up with. Just stay away from those two chuckleheads, because they don't know what they're doing, and they're crooked and lying and everything. They say something bad about the other candidate, thinking that their fingernails are clean, and they're not.
They're in bed with each other. They are each other. Mm-hmm. And the sooner that we all, as American people, begin to understand that, I think the better off we'll be. They show, at least as far as I'm concerned, they show me nothing. I feel nothing when I see these two, except for extreme nausea. They make me want to puke, because they're liars. They're just, creating falsehoods. And the funny thing is, when they try to put each other down, and neither is better than the other. Mm-hmm. So you look at it for what it's worth. If he's not liked by his own party, or is constantly under scrutiny by his own party, then how far do you think he's going to be if he should get into the White House? It's going to be a constant struggle, just like it is with old bastards. You even got some of the Democrats, or the Republicans, going for Bitchery Clinton. They're on her side. That's how bad they hate this critter. And then they're coming up with new things about her every day, what could take her down. Well, obviously they have nothing, because she's still standing tall. And then some of these Republicans, she's scared. She's running scared. She's not running anywhere. She's out there preaching her garbage and her rhetoric, just like Shaw. It's been so many days since she's had a press conference. Why should she need a press conference? She's getting things to go basically her way. The country's full of racism and full of crap. And while they're fighting that, she's slipping through the door of the White House. So she doesn't need to hold a press conference. That's bull crap. And while we're on that subject, this thing down in Louisiana, this tragedy with the flooding, it just never ceases to amaze me how the racism just keeps on coming. Just keeps on coming, like the rains that are coming down there in Louisiana, causing the flood. So I saw something yesterday. Almost got tie-tongued there. It's so disgusting. It was something to the effect of, police officers are saving people, black people, right and left, and 24/7. Black Lives Matter hasn't yet shown up on the scene. How stupid can you be? First of all, I think the police officers down there in Louisiana are not just saving black people, they're saving people, period. You could be plaid with a shade of chartreuse and they would save you. Why? Because it's their job to do so. It doesn't have anything to do with race or whatever. That's their job. Firefighters, they rescue. Why? That's their job. If you're talking about supremacists or what do they call these people?
Activists.
Activists. That's not their job to go and save people. They're there to get out a certain message. Or they're out there to make their race seem like the more superior race to everybody else's. It's not their job to save people. However, police officers, it is their job. Firefighters, it is their job. But for you to make an asinine statement like that and further perpetuating racism makes you about the stupidest thing on two legs. Every time one of you critters, one of you brainless oafs come up with Black Lives Matter didn't do this or Black Lives Matter didn't do that, I can make the same case for the KKK. The KKK has yet to be seen to save the white people they so fervently favor. It's not the KKK's job to go and save people. It's the police officer's job and the firefighter's job. So by you saying that the firefighters and police are doing this 24/7, like it's something so out of the ordinary, that makes you an idiot. You're just a racist, prejudiced idiot. Stop that. I know you may be stupid as hell, but do you have to actually post things on social media or put things on the internet to even further prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're really an ignorant ass? I guess you do, because that is the job of a racist and prejudiced person. We thank you very much for joining the Phil Taylor Jones Show. I think the exec has another tidbit to put in here, and we'll close it out.
There's just one more thing I wanted to touch on this flip-flopping section that will be posted, as I said. Concerning his money in politics, there's 3 different stances he took. Accepting donations means a candidate is controlled by special interests. He announced that he would self-fund his campaign when he announced his presidential bid. This, he said, time and time again would help him better serve the country against the corrupting force of money in politics. By self-funding my campaign, I am not controlled by my donors, special interests, or lobbyists. I'm only working with the people of the U.S. Then he flip-flops and says people can donate to me as long as they don't want anything in return. And despite my self-funding promise, Trump campaign quietly sent out fundraising emails, putting a glossy donate option on its website and raked in millions. Still, Trump insists it's not about investment in the campaign, not the cash itself. Quote, I actually like the idea of investing in a campaign, but it has to be no strings attached, unquote, he said in a CBS interview. And then to totally flip-flop on the first subject that he's going to self-fund, he says the Trump campaign will not fully self-fund. As a presumptive nominee, Trump has said he won't self-fund like he did in the primary. I'll be putting up money, but I won't be completely self-funding, he told Wall Street Journal in May 4th interview, noting that he's created a financial committee and will tap his base for money going into the general election. He hired Steve McMuchin, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, a former Goldman Sachs partner who has a history of political donations across both sides of the aisle, to head up the committee. This is a reversal, not only in rhetorical terms, since Trump isn't exactly self-funding his primary campaign, despite the loud protestations to the contrary. PolitiFact dubs his claim half true because Trump is pulling in big bucks from donors, and which he claimed initially means he's being controlled by donors, and he doesn't want to do that. And most of his own contributions are technically loans or in-kind contributions, signaling he may want to recoup those costs eventually. Current position: political donations are fine when those donations benefit the Trump campaign, of course. So he says he's going to self-fund, then he says he's not going to self-fund. He doesn't want to accept money, and then he does accept money. So he's a major flip-flopper.
Yeah, because he's probably not got as much money as he claimed he did, because you notice he still hasn't put forth those tax returns.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're all dirt bags. They're just dirt bags. Anything that's put before us from the Republican or the Democrat Party, they're nothing but dirt bags. And, folks, I hope that you will come to realize that these people that you're creature worshiping are not worth spit. And to possibly take the chance to put somebody in there that will really work to make the country a better place to be. Because right now, we don't want to end up like Angela Merkel in Germany. That woman is in serious trouble. And there's serious trouble in her country because she's let it be overrun by these foreigners, these muzzies, these destroyers of human life. And we're headed in that direction with old bastard. They're saying he wants to bring about 110,000 more here. It's not the fact that he wants to do it. It's the fact that he's already doing it. Because this guy marches to the beat of his own drum. He doesn't care about the Constitution. He doesn't care about the needs of our people or the safety of our people. He's hell-bent on destroying this country by muzzies, his own brethren or what have you. So I urge you, Jill Stein, think about that, Jill 2016. Go there. You like what you hear, you like what you see, tell a friend, tell a relative, and keep that progressing. On that score, we'll end the show by saying, especially to you dumb racists and prejudiced idiots out there, dump the hate and increase the peace. We'll see you next time on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Bye-bye.